All right, guys, so this is kind of an unexpected video, but we're getting towed right now. The truck just won't start. So I got my buddy telling me, yeah, a little bit of an unexpected video. All right, I'll check back in with you guys here in a second.
No.
Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. We got it towed back, boys, but yeah, she's dead. What do you got to say about it?
Man.
All right, guys, so yeah, like I just explained earlier, we got towed back to my buddy's house. I was leaving his house in his driveway, and we ran into an issue where the truck just bogged down on me, lost power steering. I turned it off, and then it would not turn back on. So I started looking. I don't see any leaks. It has a wheel pressure, so I'm not sure what it is. I'm not a 7.3 expert, but I got my buddy coming today. He's got one of those OBD2 code readers, one of the bigger, higher tech ones that gives you all the data. So he's gonna come later, as he's a diesel mechanic, and he's gonna help out and just diagnose this and see what's wrong. So when that time comes, I will fill you guys in, and I will start recording again for you guys. So that's where we're at with it. Sad, but trusty old OBS, she's down for the count. That's just kind of my luck with diesels, especially in the past with my 6L. So I hope we're not heading down that same path. Well, again, check in with you guys then. All right, guys, so it's the next day. We did a little bit of messing around with it last night. This truck, it's not as simple as what we thought it was. We thought it could have been just a simple mechanical fuel issue where maybe the truck isn't getting fuel. So what we did was we were checking the fuel bowl, which is where the fuel filter is, to see if it was getting fuel. And that was for sure. Mechanically, we were getting plenty of fuel. It just would not turn over. It just keeps cranking and cranking, cranking, and would not turn over. We sprayed a little bit of starter fluid in the intake. It ran for like a second, and then it just kept going back to cranking. So we're unsure what it is, but we believe it's still a fuel issue, but we think it's an electrical fuel issue. So I am heading to Advanced Auto Parts right now because we believe it could be the ICP sensor, the injection control pressure sensor. Now, those are a very common thing to fail on a 7.3. According to my buddy, he said that's a very common thing. That is the easiest fix. We are hoping that's what the fix is. I'm going to go pick up this sensor. We're going to go try it. Now, the issue is if it's not that, then we're going to have to do some thinking again. And it might be, I think it's called an IPR valve. Don't get me wrong, but that's a little more deeper in the motor. So we'll see. Hopefully this is the fix, but I will keep you guys posted, keep you guys updated. It's raining today, so I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to record, but, you know, I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, right now, it's not as simple as what we thought it was. Truck still not running, just keeps cranking and cranking and cranking. It's getting fuel. Just something has to be electrical that it's not turning over and running. So we think this might be the solution. Who knows? We'll find out, but stay tuned, guys. We'll get to the bottom of this. I need this truck back up and running. This is what I would say daily drive. I don't really go far, but you know, if I need a vehicle to drive anywhere, it's going to be that truck. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is the fix and this is the cure to this. So again, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm heading over to Advanced Auto Parts, get this ICP sensor, and see what happens. All right, guys, so at night, we did try fixing the ICP sensor, in which I went to Advanced Auto Parts. They didn't have it. They could get it the next day, that whole type thing. Ended up finding a Napa Auto Parts somewhat nearby. I got that for the truck, and that didn't fix the issue. So it was sitting at my friend's house. The ICP sensor didn't work, which was a kind of expensive part for something so simple, but went ahead and replaced that, and that did not do the job. So this clip right here shows what happened afterwards. So now you see that I had to get towed here by my buddy, who is the decent mechanic. So, like I said, you know, in the previous, he knows a lot more about 7.3s than I do. Now, he thinks it could be a couple things, but there was no true way for him to diagnose it. He tried plugging his OBD2 code reader in, but since this is an OBS truck, they come with the OBD2 sensors, or the OBD2, you know, plug, but it takes a special type of scanner to read codes on this. So he couldn't pick up any codes, and he was just kind of guessing from, you know, what he's experienced in the past and what a lot of his friends have experienced in the past and working on these things, what it could be. So we replaced the ICP sensor. Did not work. Now, the next thing that we're going to fix is right here. Let me get my little camera. The IPR valve. That is the next thing that we're going to replace. And I'll show you guys what that looks like here under the hood in a second. But that's what we think it could be. This is a very common thing for it also to fail. So we're going to give this a shot. I'm going to try to install it, and hopefully this is the answer, because this was also a very expensive part. I just, really hope this is the answer and I'm not just throwing a bunch of things at it, but we'll see. I did post a TikTok on this, and it got, quite a good amount of views on it, and a lot of people started sharing their comments on what they think it is. I'm getting a lot of different things like the CPS sensor, the crank position sensor, or it's the ICP sensor, or it's IPR valve, it's your H-pop, it's your fuel bowl dish issue. It's like, oh, it's an injector issue. It's like, there's so many different things that people are saying, and I appreciate all of you that maybe you're watching this from that TikTok video, that, I'm working on it, trying all the kind of simpler things that we think it could be just from what's happening while we're trying to crank it. So, gonna give this a go. I'm gonna show you guys here in a second where this is, but I gotta remove the nut that's right there on the end. I gotta remove that nut. Guys, you won't believe this. Hold on one second. Let me grab the keys. I just was looking, right? And let's see if whatever my issue was with the IPR valve, just see if it works. I mean, waiting them glow plugs to warm up since it's been a week since it's been started. If this works, I'm gonna freaking go nuts. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Something so simple and so easy was the problem to this. I'm gonna shut this off and I'm gonna explain to you guys here in a second. Okay, so what was it? What was so simple that made this thing start? And it wasn't the IPR valve that I needed to replace. Now, what it was? That connection right there. This is the new one. This is the new part. That connection right there was disconnected. Don't know how it came off. It's not broken. Maybe it's just because the truck, 7.3, it likes to shake and rattle. It's a loud truck. It sounds like a dang, someone threw a freaking wrench in a washing machine. That's how this thing sounds. Which makes it so cool because it's an older truck like that, older diesel truck. But that was the issue. A simple connection. We didn't even see it, and I can't. Don't put blame on the guy that my friend, the diesel mechanic, because it was hard to see. I had to get down there, really look at it, and I was about to take the nut, which is right here on the end. I was about to take that nut off, and obviously the connection is right there next to that nut, and I see the connection was right next to it, but it wasn't connected fully. So I'm like, what? That doesn't look right. And I'm like, there is no way. If this works, I was like, let me try it. So I'm like, let me just plug it in. And then that's when I picked this back up, and it was like, I got to try it. Sure enough, that was my issue. So guys, here's a little tip for you. If you have a 7.3 and you think it's an IPR or something like that, check your connection. It's so simple, so easy. I can't believe it. I seriously can't believe it. But, well, guys, we figured out the problem. I'm going to go return that part because that was not a cheap part. Get some of my money back. But I appreciate it. Maybe we'll use that money towards something else that's going to be done to the truck.
maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys staying tuned. If you have not already, go ahead, like, subscribe, drop a comment what your thoughts are on this, because it's so stupid and so simple, and I'm glad that's what it was. But drop your comments on what you thought down below. I really just finished fixing this thing on the ball joints. I was like, I got it back on the road. Ooh, can't wait to drive it. And 1 week later, this happened. So, guys, again, thank you for watching this video. I really got scared. It took me a week to figure this out. But I appreciate you guys checking in. This is All Muscle Garage. Again, like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. See you.
Baby.